book on a message about wanting to go after a law. You see, when I look back on my life and I think about what I was taught in schools as I began this speech, tornado drills, bus drills, fire drills, they drill it all in our heads. It's mandated by laws. You teach us all the stranger danger. As you know, 93% of the time, it's not the man pulling up asking you to look for the lost puppy. It's not the man asking you, do you want some candy? That's only 70% of the time. I got so upset to know that as I looked across all 50 states, there's only one state that has just begun to implement education in schools, teaching kids on sexual abuse education in schools. You see, as a 6th grader, I went through a program called DARE. DARE taught us the 8 ways to say no to drugs. And you know what, I can stand here before you today and tell you, high school I was approached with marijuana, always turned it down. College I was approached with marijuana, cocaine, you name it, at parties, knew not to touch that stuff. Not saying everyone is successful with being a DARE graduate, but I was one of those people that always turned down drugs. But where were the 8 ways as a kid of how to get away and how to tell today? They never came. And a kid like myself and the millions of other kids in our society are being silenced right now by sexual predators because they are not taught in schools safe touch, unsafe touch, safe secrets, unsafe secrets, how to get away and how to tell today. And if we began, like I say, we cannot end this evil epidemic. These sexual predators will always exist. Yes, it would be great to zap them out, but we don't have that capability to just terminate them all. It'd be wonderful. Solve a lot of problems. But the truth of the matter is, why aren't we giving children the voice to empower them? Creating that safety list with them. Because so often when they do go to mom, the ones that do have enough courage to tell their mother or father what is going on, so often mothers and fathers, when it is another relative abusing them, silence the kids. I'm sure many of you have experienced situations like that. I've had so many people come to me and say, Erin, I told my mother when I was 8 years old, I'm now 45, she shut me up. Which is why the message needs to come from the schools. We can't put it on the parents, because as you all know, there are many unfit parents out there, and there are many parents that are the abusers themselves. The message is coming from the schools. It gives children the outlet, empowering them to use their voice with the tools and knowledge and resources, if someone was abusing them, to speak up. To know not to live in silence. To not keep a pinky promise like I did at 6.5 years old until you were 23 years old. A promise that I did not break until then, because no one was giving me that message. Which is why I went after this law in the state of Illinois. A law that was, after testifying before the Illinois Senate, was first passed by all 13 in the Education Committee, and then was sent down to the Senate floor in May of this past year, and was voted 54 all yes in favor, 0 no, of Erin's law. A law that will begin to look at curriculum, building a task force working with DCFS, Illinois Board of Education, Illinois Children's Advocacy Centers, and looking at the best resources and curriculum that we can begin to use in the schools in Illinois. It now right now sits waiting to be voted on by the House, which will hopefully happen during the veto section next month in November. And once it is heard there, then it'll be sent to the governor and signed. And my message and mission from there is taking it on a national level, getting it passed in all 50 states. Because like I said, the one thing I was failed in my childhood was the words to be able to speak up about this. There were several times where I was being asked, why are you so angry? Why did you put your hand through a window? Why are you so depressed? Why? But no one was giving me the tools or knowledge or asking me, has someone done something inappropriately to you? Those words were never given to me, so I was never able to put a face and voice and be able to break my silence at the young age that I was, to stop the abuse much earlier, had the message come from the schools.